For some Italian food, spaghetti, pizza, lasagna,
Always.
mangia. Just a few of America's favorite dishes, and while many chefs are celebrated for introducing Italian cuisine to the U.S., the true credit belongs to the Italian-American women who created a whole new cuisine enduring poverty and isolation.
Yeah, now in honor of Women's History Month, it's time to give these nonnas the recognition they deserve with Mother Sauce. We are joined by author Lucinda Scala-Quinn to discuss how these women shape the flavors we love, the stories behind her family's recipes, and why their contributions should never be forgotten. Hi, Lucinda. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here with this really important book in Women's History Month.
Yes.
Time for Mother's Day.
Exactly. Yeah, happy to have you here on our show. So your new book, Mother Sauce, highlights the important role that Italian-American women played in shaping the beloved cuisine we know today. So can you share why it is crucial to recognize their contributions during Women's History Month?
Thank you so much. Yeah, right before the turn of the last century, one of the greatest mass migrations in world history from poverty was from the Mezzogiorno, which is southern Italy and Sicily. And 6 million people came. They came under very arduous circumstances, entered New York and port cities, and came into, with very little resources. They had in their suitcases a few seeds to their favorite vegetables. Frequently, they arrived in tenement housing. They were all crammed in small places. And yet these women, the men were out working in the world. The women didn't have that opportunity. And so they were at home. They were taking care of the children. They were taking care of the household, sometimes against superb odds. Yet they managed to endure with this food that actually 100 years later, which they could probably never have imagined, would be one of the most enduring foodways in America. Every child eats pizza and pasta. Yep. Every household has some version of spaghetti with red sauce and grated cheese on top. And I think that what happened is that this was their only creative power center. They couldn't really go out in the world. They couldn't work, particularly if they were unmarried or single for whatever reason, but they were in their home cooking, and the men in their life recognized it, and they took it, they brought in paying customers to the living room at the end of the day, discovered how popular it was, would take on some garages, some underground places, install Nonna in there to start cooking, and these became the beginnings of the first trattorias and Italian-American restaurants that we know of today.
Wow.
You have so many recipes
Yes.
in Mother Sauce here, Lucinda, and a lot of them come from your own family's traditions. Give us one of your favorite family's recipes, if you can.
I think the Sunday sauce, which starts the whole book off. Every Sunday, our grandmothers, our nonnas, our mamas, they would prepare this elaborate feast, go to Mass. We'd all come back. Usually the men in my family, the men made the wine down in the basement. And you had, no matter how humble or how grand, everybody came together around the meal. It's the first recipe in the book. And basically the Sunday sauce is like different kinds of meat simmering in the sauce with spaghetti and side dishes and an antipasti. And so I think that would probably be my favorite. But then the other night I made chicken parmigiano, and it's like your classic 100 recipes where I'm not reinventing the wheel. I just want, if you're craving spaghetti and meatballs or chicken parmesan or tiramisu, that you would be able to make the simplest, most delicious version of it.
All right.
I love that. And in the book, you can find like everyday meals and holiday dishes. So what's one recipe for the book that you feel perfectly it captures the essence of an Italian-American family gathering?
Well, either spaghetti and meatballs for an every night dinner, or there's something called the 7 fishes stew, because on Christmas Eve every year we do 7 different fish dishes. But instead I took the 7 fishes. For the modern cook, I put it into one stew, and it's so delicious. It's similar to the cioppino that we know in San Francisco. But then again, something as simple as, chicken piccata, which is like 3 ingredients cooked on a stovetop in 10 minutes. Or, I can't believe my mouth is watering even just talking about it. There is Italian wedding soup, which has little meatballs and spinach and a chicken broth, which is a very classic dish. And it wasn't because it was served at weddings, it was because it wedded together different ingredients into one soup. So there are there's something for every night. There's something during the weekend. There is, a real tribute and honor to the women who made this happen. And so I think it's a wonderful way to honor them, give this gifts to like third and fourth generation down and continue the tradition.
Lucinda, unfortunately, we're running out of time here, but you're a mother, you're a grandmother, you've passed down a lot of recipes. How do you see a cooking as a way of connecting the generations and keeping those traditions alive?
Thank you so much for saying that. I just think that everything we need to learn is there. This food is physical, spiritual, emotional nourishment. These women under great duress knew how to do it. Don't tell me you're too busy to cook today, because if they could figure it out, we can. And it does, conversation happens at the table, wellness, happiness, being joined together. That's what we have to learn from what these women taught us.
I think,
Well said.
You know, that's a lost art, too. Keep it going. Keep that tradition going. Author Lucinda Scala Quinn, author of Mother Sauce, right here. Get this book if you love Italian-American eating. Lucinda, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. Good to talk to you.
Ciao.
Bye. Ciao.